Hey, everybody. We are back. We are back. We have a little technical difficulty. I literally had to go downstairs and I had to reset my router, and I'm praying that this works. I'm really praying that this works because it looks like it's a little shaky even right now. So anyway, my boy Daryl Hampton, he is on deck right now, and we are just waiting for him to do what he has to do, and it's about to go down. We want to talk about dating in 2022. Oh my God. How hard is it with this whole dating business right now? I have horror stories from my sisters and my brothers about dating in 2022. And I'm trying to figure out, and maybe y'all can answer me. Hey, I see y'all watching. I'm trying to figure out, right? What's going on with the dating in 2022? What are some of the things that you guys have experienced and gone through? So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my boy, introduce the song, and some of y'all know my boy, my brother, Daryl Hampton. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a really interesting conversation tonight. Daryl, can we talk about it?
Yes, we can.
I don't know if you heard my intro about how hard it is to date in 2022,
It's,
right? Hey, y'all, I see y'all looking, but I don't know who's watching. So Daryl, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm curious, what's going on, Kim? What are you hearing, and what's the feedback that the information you've been receiving on what's going on out here in the dating world today? I'm curious.
I'm gonna tell you, Daryl, women are having the most difficult time meeting a man to go out with that is serious, that wants something out of their life, that's, about their business. Women are having a very difficult time doing that. And even my brothers are struggling because a lot
But
of my
why?
brothers are alone.
But
And
why?
they
Why is it so
people in their
difficult?
lives, huh?
Why is it so? What are they finding to be so difficult?
Just that there are no quality men in their opinions. And for the men, I don't know, did they just give up and stop trying? I don't know. The men are struggling too. It's not just the ladies.
But what qualifies a good man, though? What qualifies a man to be the man?
Well, that's actually each person has their own, qualifications. Like,
That's
I
true.
don't get to tell, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, they're not finding it out there.
Cause it's out there.
I believe that.
It's out there.
I absolutely believe that.
Cause you out here.
Listen, in the street.
It's out there because you out here. That's why it's out there.
Listen, out here in these streets. Okay.
You got to get up out the
Okay.
streets
I got to
ASAP.
get out the
Get out,
streets, girl.
get out the streets,
No, but
baby.
dating is extremely hard for a lot of the women, and a lot, and also, and I see my brothers are struggling too. Like, they feel like they can't find a good woman to date.
There's
And
tons of them out here.
that's what I know. That's what I know. That's what I know. So I'm
I'm looking
trying.
at one.
Oh, hello, somebody. You better say so, honey. You better say
No, I
something.
gotta give you I gotta give you your roses, Kim, and say thank you, man. First and foremost for us coming back here again to share this platform. I'm honored, and I thank you for being the amazing individual that you are.
Oh, thank you,
So thank you.
Daryl. I love you. You know what? You know I love you.
Come on,
I
man.
really do. I really do. I mean, you be getting on my nerves sometimes, but I love you.
You wouldn't love me if I didn't get on your nerve. That's the contrast. You gotta love it all. That's
Right.
the issue with some
Right.
people in the dating world is they want this part of it, but they don't want that part of it.
What?
You can't.
What?
You gotta accept the yin and the yang, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and look at it as a blessing and say thank you, as you
Oh,
said in your last video. But most of the
oh,
time, we just like to pick apart things and pick apart people and only want to look at their great attributes and not realizing that people are growing and people are evolving. And we're not
wow.
patient. And we're not as patient as we ought to be with ourselves first and we're not as patient with other people as we ought to be, how we treat ourselves.
Right,
But
right.
I understand when it comes to setting boundaries and having standards and values for your life. And if people do come upon that, you should check them to let them know in a kind, loving way, I don't like that. I like my mashed potatoes mixed with my string beans and my chicken.
You know what? You are bet. Don't be fronting down. Is that
Because
what you
what one man eat is another man's poison, is what a wise man told me.
Right, right. Because some people like what they like. So here's my thing, because so many men and women are struggling with dating in 2022. And I was wondering, because I did something, I talked about this a few nights ago. I talked about the fact that, when a man is into you, he's going to do the most for you. He's going to treat you well and blah, blah, blah. So I kind of went into that deep. I was just going live. The other
I
part
saw
of that,
that.
yeah, the other part of that, Daryl, is that the women are saying that they're not meeting any quality men, right? So I'm trying to figure out in my head where the breakdown is. So I wanted to just hit you with that, because I want to know, right, from a male perspective, right? And I know that a lot of women want to know too. Like, why do you think that there is such a breakdown? Now tell me what you think about that.
What I think and what I feel about that, Kim. And like I said, before I go into this thing, it's, the yin and the yang, the hot, the cold, the fire, and the storms.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to say what I have to say is not for every woman, it's not for every man, it's not for every situation.
Right.
Everybody's different in their own unique way, their situation and circumstances, backgrounds, and all of that. So I don't
Right.
want to step on nobody's toes. So forgive me in advance. Give me
Mm-hmm.
grace. Now,
Gotcha.
what I do have to say about that is that it comes from a place of acceptance, Kim. You know what I mean? You got to
Mm-hmm.
accept people for who they are. And when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
stop trying
Right.
to get into this thing like you always mention in your conversation of dating potential of
Oh,
people.
yes.
You know what I mean? And a lot of
Okay.
times we date people with the potential of what they could be instead of who they are.
Mm. So that women mostly do that though. Men don't do that as much.
Because we
Men
take
really
you as
don't
you
do that.
are. You know what I mean?
Huh?
That's just how we are. We take what it is, and
Because you see what it is though. Hey
right.
y'all, I see y'all watching.
Exactly. Say
I hope you're
hello.
coming
Tell
through.
them
Say
say
hi. I
hello.
don't see any
Hi.
comments in the chat.
Happy Thursday. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what? I know.
Let us know
Thought-provoking
you
Thursday.
here.
Let's
You
get
you
it.
joining us.
Hello, somebody. So Daryl, like I know that this is not, but when you say that, right? I guess my question is from a male's perspective, because men, they already watch the woman operating in whatever it is she is, right?
Absolutely.
They're not trying to change her. In fact, they're hoping that she doesn't change, right? Hi, Donna. How are you, sweetheart?
What's up,
Happy
Donna?
Thursday. She said, Happy Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you. Send that love out,
So
baby. What up?
men are thinking, don't change ever. I want you to stay how you are. I see you're working. I see you working on yourself. I see you loving yourself. I like what I see, and I want you to stay that way. And women say, well, I know he's good. He's a good guy, and hopefully he'll change, and he'll grow into and morph into the man that he wants to be. Now, not all women and not all men, but some, right?
Right.
But some, right? Because it wouldn't be, because if men had such great pickers as well as women, there wouldn't be a breakdown right now. I think that there is so much. I think men's pickers are just as broken as women's pickers. I'm being
Mm,
honest. I'm
mm,
being honest.
mm.
Because you only gonna get you're only people can only do to you what you let them do to you.
And you know what? That I'm glad you said that, because that goes right into the point of
Mm-hmm.
I want to stick a pin in that by iterating this, is by saying that you get what you give. You get who you are. In a relationships, people are just mirror and a reflection of who you
Uh-huh.
are,
Mirror and
where
window.
you
Mhm.
are at
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, physically. They meet you where you at because that's where you at.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's a responsibility that we all have as men and women to level up our level of consciousness, our level of value, and what we
Mhm.
bring to ourselves and what we bring into the world. I
Mm-hmm.
believe,
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, when it's like that saying that a lot of people have been saying throughout the ages, is that when you change, then the world will change. But stop
Yes,
waiting
because
on
you
the
be
world to
looking.
change, because
Yes,
you are the
yes.
change that the world has
The
been
world needs to
waiting
see.
for.
That's
So
right. Say
stop
to them.
waiting for him to change. Stop waiting for her to change, and be the change you wish to see in the world today.
Yes, yes,
See,
yes, yes.
what we like to do is we waiting on somebody else to act and be something, but we don't want to do the work on ourselves when it comes to being our
That's
showing up and
right.
being our best version.
That's
Because I
right.
always figure, Kim, when you show up being your best self, then it gives me the permission to show up and be my best self.
Yes, yes. How many
So be
times
the
have I said,
change
how many
as
times
men
have
and
I said that?
women in the relationship by doing the work of being the best version and showing up in your life,
Mm-hmm.
being
Mm-hmm.
your best self that you can possibly be by doing your best. Because at the end of the day, I think we all are doing our best, Kim, by
Mm-hmm.
showing up, and doing the best we know with what we know, you
Right.
know.
With what you know. Right. With what you know. With what you
And
know.
that's why you can't get mad at people, men or women, because she's only operating from her belief system that's been passed down from generation to generation, unless she's opening up her mind or he's opening up his mind to be more than what he's ever been before.
Right.
And
Right.
this is why I believe the dating world between men and women is like it's stagnant, it's stale, it's
That's what I think, that's the conundrum right there. That's the problem. Because there are amazing men out there, are
yes, they are
amazing
tons.
women. And there's a breakdown because, you know, I don't know, it can't just be that we've been hurt. It can't just be that. It just can't be that. I don't know if people have like thrown in the freaking towel and like, I'm tired. I don't want to go through this roller coaster ride no more. You know, and then people are lonely and men are lonely as well. Because while women, I know somebody said, I heard it from somebody else, so I'm not acting like I came up with myself. Men are, what was it? Men are even lonelier than women. Women work of people. Women don't. They kind of sit and do whatever they're gonna do, and they pretty much do it alone. So when they don't have a woman or a family, then they're even lonelier than women are. And I was like, wow, I never would have thought about that. I forget, I don't know who said that, but I know I heard it and it resonated with me.
Mm.
Um, Women have a tribe. We have each other. We communicate. We meet up at the beauty parlor. We get our nails
Yeah,
done.
but the only
Right?
side effect with that though, Kim, the only effect with that is that sometimes, man, we get with people. I mean, you had this conversation before, not just on relationship basis, but on financial too. Is that
Mm-hmm.
when you get better, you know what I mean? Your money get better, your relationships get better because you're
Mm-hmm.
adding value to yourself, and therefore, I also brought to your attention, Kim, is that um when you a $10 near, you typically hang around $10 nears. When you $100 near, you start to hang
Right,
around $100 nears.
right, right.
When you a thousandaire, you typically hang around thousandaire because thousandaires think like thousandaires. And when you
Right,
become a millionaire, you typically be around millionaire mindsets.
right, 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 right,
And when you
right,
a billionaire, and there's levels to
right,
this, Kim.
right. It's
It's
levels to this.
levels.
It's levels to it, D. It's
It's
levels to
levels
it.
to
It's
this.
levels.
But
Yes.
that level depends on you and where you at in your life and how you perceive and see yourself.
Right, 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 right,
Now,
right.
if you want to stay a $10 near, I know a lot of people that are very successful at being $10 nears
I love it.
with selling oils and $5, $10 shirts, and they make about good $500 a day
Right,
based on what they believe they deserve to receive.
right, 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 right.
Now, I ain't never seen a $10 near sitting with a millionaire. Because the $1 million near thinking about $1 million ideas.
Right, right.
Because your
Right.
net worth depends on your self-love worth.
Yes. Yes.
And when
Yes.
you see yourself in a better light as a man or a woman, you typically attract that same light and
Yes.
energy
I
back
just
to yourself.
I just talked about that the other night
Based
because
upon,
I think that that's so important, Daryl. Daryl,
on
did
your
we lose you?
belief.
Something was happening. You cut out, but I believe that, Daryl. Honest to God,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to figure out, and while it is mindset, while mindset is definitely the
It's
thing,
key. It's
there
key.
is a breakdown. This is why this is thought provoking Thursday, because I'm really seriously trying to think about what it is that my brothers and my sisters are not doing that is not netting them what they want. And I know mindset and I know energy is part of it, right?
Oh yeah.
But there is no connection. Like, I'm like, how did we get this far away from each other? So dating in 2022, that's the question now. That's the question. Why is it so difficult to date in 2022? We got the internet, we got what do you call it, dating sites,
Yep.
apps, and
Yep.
we got everything.
Yep.
We are connected to everything and
Yo.
and at the same time disconnected
Yeah.
from real authentic
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is where the problem is.
Yeah.
There was a passage I was actually reading. I didn't even plan to do this, but there was a passage I was reading earlier today, and I'm going to read it. I wasn't even planning on reading it, but I literally like screenshot it because it was so dope. It says vulnerability is not weakness, and the uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure we face every day are not optional. The only choice is a question of engagement. Our willingness to own and engage our vulnerability determines the depth of our courage and the
Mm.
clarity of our purpose. The
Mm.
level to which we protect ourselves from being vulnerable is a measure of our fear and disconnection. When we spend our lives waiting until we're perfect and bulletproof before we walk into the arena, we ultimately sacrifice relationships and opportunities that may not be recoverable. We squander our precious time and we turn our backs on our gifts, those unique contributions that only we can make. Perfect and bulletproof are seductive, but they don't exist in the human experience. We must walk into a new arena, whatever it may be, a new relationship, an important meeting, a creative process, or a difficult family conversation with courage and the willingness to engage. Rather than sitting on the sideline and hurling judgment and advice, we must dare to show up and let ourselves be seen.
Mm.
Right?
That's
Let
good.
me tell you how powerful that thing is.
That's good.
That thing, I was like,
That's
oh my
good.
God. So that comes from Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. And the reason why I just thought that this was so dope,
Yeah.
right? Because what I think
I don't know what that's all about.
hello?
Yeah. I
Um,
don't. Yeah.
all of a sudden, my computer is just bugging out. Okay, we believe that we can walk through this life, right, and not allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We
Dragon.
figure we are not going to be in any relationship, or if we are, it's going to be on our terms. We do not have to let our wall down, and we think that we can somehow have an authentic, real relationship without true courage and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. There is something innately wrong with that.
That's good. And
Right?
I love what you brought that up, man, of not showing and not being seen and showing up. It's because you know what, Kim, a lot of us deal, a lot of people deal with abandonment wounds. They have abandonment issues, and that has to deal
Right.
with that issue with that. And what people have learned to do, especially the ones that have been abandoned, and I'm talking about the empaths out there and the people that have been going through an abandonment wound of their mothers being missing, a dad's not in their lives.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, what people have done, Kim, over the process of growing up as children, they conform themselves to be what everybody else wants them to be and afraid to be themselves.
Mm, that's good,
So they
Daryl.
traded in
That's good.
their cars and put their cars on the table to conform themselves to be and be a yes person when they really deep down inside want to say no. And when you grow up like that and you want to get the brownie points and you want to get that acceptancy and that feeling of worthiness, that feeling of I belong, Kim, you what you do, you you become what everybody else wants you to be, and you're afraid to stand on your own 2 feet. So what you do is
Mm.
you conform, and you don't transform the game. You don't change the game. You conform to
Right.
the game.
Right.
And that comes from me, honestly, from what I've studied and learned. That comes from the abandonment wound. And there's a lot of people who have
Yes.
dealing with abandonment wounds out there. And
Yes.
until we get to the core of that abandonment wound, we'll never ever truly be authentic in relationships going forward
Yes.
with anybody.
Yes.
First, with our own selves, because we've been saying yes a lot of the times when we really deep down inside been wanting to say no to a lot of
Yes.
things. But until
Yes.
we get the courage and the confidence and belief and self-assurance within ourselves to say no, because when you say no to the things you don't want, you're saying yes to the things you really do want.
Yes. Yes.
But that
Yes. Yes.
abandonment wound that's inside of men and women, and what we look for is, and we
And
look for
that's
them to compensate and for them to bring us safety and security, once we didn't have from our mothers and fathers or grandmothers and whoever
right.
took
But
care of you.
it's not always abandonment either. It's not always abandonment. So it can be abandonment, but it's not always
It's
abandonment.
some form of
Right?
abandonment to the point where you have learned. You've been through
Don,
that
I see
process
you.
of abandonment, Kim, and with a
Uh-huh.
lot of men and women.
No,
And
but
when and I always say this, and I
But
said
what
this
I'm
last time
saying
we
to you,
talked, Kim.
Daryl, but what I'm saying to you is this, babe. I'm saying that abandonment is abandonment, right? But that does not necessarily make you a people pleaser. Sometimes it just makes you angry. That's what I'm saying to you. So I get it. I get what you're saying. There are levels to all of this because
And,
people end up in different places.
and this,
Some people get abandoned and become angry and detached from everything.
yes,
They're
and
not trying to
everyone,
please
and
anybody.
everyone, right,
Huh?
right, and everyone, they feel like they've been dumped on, and they feel like, yo, what can you do for me? It's not about
Uh-huh.
service
Right.
anymore.
Right.
It's
Right.
all
It's
about get
about
all I
right.
can and can all I
And
get,
all I
because
get.
it's all about
Yes.
me. It's
Yes.
selfishness, it's greed,
Yes.
and you're not thinking about serving. You're not, and I get it, because if you deal
Yes.
with that and you come from that space, and this is why it's so tragic to get into a relationship and that wound never be healed. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get into a relationship, and that person's gonna decide to say, I don't want to be here no more for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
God knows there's tons of them. And
Right.
what we typically do, men and women, they typically abandon themselves when they go away.
Mm-hmm.
And now you
Mm-hmm.
all humdrum and broken down and in a whole shack for a whole month. Nobody don't hear from you. You don't comb your hair no more. You don't brush your teeth no more. You don't wash yourself no more. Now you sitting here
Look.
eating a whole quart of Haagen-Dazs, depressed
Uh.
and broken.
Uh.
But that would never happen when you learn how to self-love yourself and take care of yourself and don't abandon yourself anymore because of whoever decide to leave. I
Right.
always give that bus analogy, Kim.
I know. Get on the bus and you can get off the bus.
But just ring the
Right.
bell and let me know you're getting off.
Right.
At least
Right.
give me a
Right.
kind courtesy. Don't go ghost on me and slide through the window or the back door on me.
Now you are hilarious.
That's all
But
I'm saying.
I get it. I get it, Daryl. But abandonment can show itself. That's all I'm trying to say to you. Abandonment can show itself in many different forms.
There's
It
so
doesn't have
many
to show
different
up as
forms.
you being a
And this is,
pleaser.
and the only reason why I brought that up, Kim, is because you brought up the reason why people are not showing up and being authentic.
Mm-hmm. They're not.
So they
And
say
they
yes to
let
you, Kim, when they
people
want to say no.
okay, and they let people do whatever they want to do to them because they're not even standing up for themselves. They don't believe in themselves, right?
They don't.
So we talked
Mhm.
about
She got it.
we
She
talked
got
about
it. She got
I
it.
want to talk about some of the things that can help people learn how to date better, not just talk about what the problem
Yes. Yes.
is. Right?
Let's get to the
So I want to
solution.
talk about yes, let's get to the solutions and let's
Because there is a solution.
there is a solution. There is a solution.
Yes.
Well,
And me and Kim, we have the solution. So log in, hit the
no,
like button.
we don't got the solution for everybody because everybody got different
But
problems.
there's maybe
But there
somebody you may
is
know right
some
now that
solutions.
needs to hear this message.
Yeah.
And we may have a message and may have something that we can impart to a friend or a foe or a coworker. So share the message
Hey,
now.
Dre, how are you, sweetie? I see you. Hi, baby. Yes. I agree to a
So
point.
let's get into the solution. Kim, what would you say, Kim?
Hold on. hold on. Donna says, I agree to a point. I know I have to learn how to love me first. Absolutely, Donna. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good, Dre. It's good to see you
And
here.
Donna's absolutely right, and it's a learning process, especially when you've been so much of a woman, anyways. Being a mother, a grandmother, you dedicated your life to giving yourself away to so many things and so many people that you multitask, trying to wear so many hats and be so many things for so many people. As you know, I get that, but it's very hard to love anybody when you're pouring from an empty cup. And that's why it's so important. And as they always say on the plane, Ken, before you could put the mask on anybody else, put the mask on you first. Then you can be able to assist in and everybody else that needs help.
No, it's true. It's true.
So
It's
that
absolutely the
it's a
truth.
learned thing. It's a learned behavior.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is definitely a learned behavior. And so I wanted to talk about some of the things that you could do because dating in 2022 is kind of hard. Daryl and I kind of talked
Yeah.
about authenticity. I talked about being vulnerable and courage, right? And Daryl talked about being abandoned and that being a reason why um, you might not want to date, or you might just get yourself into something that you're not even happy with because you become a people pleaser
You're
because of
not showing up. You're not showing up.
right, right, and because of your abandonment issues. And so, I wanted to just move forward, if you will, and talk about some of the ways that you can, because I know this internet dating thing. I mean, we have so much access
Yeah.
to so many
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be even live in your neighborhood, and you don't have
Yeah.
to know them or their cousins. Like, they could be, brand new to the area, whatever. Like, there's so many ways to date right now. You can video chat with your
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah. Yeah.
online. You
Yeah.
can get to know people in different ways. And so with this whole video thing and dating and then group dating, I don't know when that came about, but I think I kind of dig that because there's no pressure. Right. I said that to one of my homeboys. I said, I want you to meet somebody, but I want you to meet them in a group. Because if you like them, you like them. And if you don't, then it's no pressure. No pressure on you and it's no pressure on them. And he said, oh, okay, Kim, okay. And then at the last minute, he's like, no, I don't want to. So I was like, okay, because it's a lot of men, and I'm going to say it again. It's a lot of men that are single and they lonely and they want somebody in their lives, right? So how do we navigate our way through this dating thing? How do we navigate our way through this dating thing? The first thing I would say is to make sure that you get your energy up like you just had the best sex in your entire life. Like you walk around so confident because you just did that. You know what I'm saying? You just landed a $3 million at your job, that kind of energy where you kind of floating around and you
Yo.
just saved the company $2 million and your boss is like, yo, you getting a bonus and a raise, like because you were so dope. Like you be floating on the air after that. Like you have to have the kind of energy that exudes love. You have to, because when people see you, you want them, they are attracted to that.
Confidence,
Have you
confidence,
ever, yes.
confidence,
Let me
confidence.
ask you something. I've been out on boat rides with my friends, and we've been to different things years ago. I ain't even talking about now. We would be having so much fun. Everybody who was on board, if they was with their boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever, they wanted to hang out with us. That's how much fun we was.
Wow.
Right?
I wonder
and
why.
So we laughed because we was laughing and we was dancing and we was having a ball. Oh my God, who wouldn't want to be around somebody who's having a good time?
Hello.
You're not sitting there being a cornball or anything. You really want to have a good time.
But that's the intention that's been set though.
What? What's the intention?
Is to go out, have a good time, and have some fun.
Yes.
That's it.
And everybody don't know how to do that.
That you don't have to chop
uptight.
it up with. I meet a lot of guys that want to go out on dates with ladies and whatnot, and they have this whole thing planned out, but they have an end thing of, okay, I'm gonna do all of these things. I'm gonna take her here. We're gonna go there. Then we're gonna go back to my place, and then we're gonna, what it is there.
Bump uglies.
But then it don't go out. It don't turn out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had an end goal game in mind instead of just going out.
Having fun.
with the energy of just creating the vibe that she would want to be into that and be like, yo, I want to go back with you because yo, you on.
Yeah, I want to go out on a second date with you because you was fun. You wasn't all serious. You was like, this thing was dope. Yes.
Carefree. You know how to laugh at yourself. You know how to tell a
Yes.
joke, take a joke.
Yes.
That's
Have
that
some
carefree
fun.
in it, but that's carefree too. It's not like you can say when you being authentic and you showing up in the dating world and you being authentic, you ain't letting your abandonment, old woes and past things happen, and you've been in the present moment. You're embracing it for what it is. The weather's nice. We on this boat. The music is turned. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
feeling
Right.
good. I'm smelling good. My body's on fleek. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shit is going down. And then you happen to be with him in the court with me. I'm like, yo, it don't get no better than this. Let's get
Right.
it.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So Daryl. Oh, okay. So but I think people have a difficult time being their authentic selves on a date, allowing themselves to have fun. I think that is part of the issue. So you meet somebody and they just like extremely uptight, like they just came off a business trip. They
It
got on.
hurt.
Listen,
It hurt,
no,
babe.
no. No. I think people are afraid to show that they can just like really laugh and have a ball and have a good time.
Babe.
Because people go on dates and they try to make sure they eat with the right fork. They try to talk at a certain, especially women. I'll have the salad. I don't know who does that. I don't. But, like they're like, if you show up in your full regalia, either they're going to like you, and I say this all the time, either they're going to like you or they're not going to like you, but at least you know immediately so you don't invest any mental, emotional time into the person who's not going to stay with you anyway, right? I'm loud and I laugh loud.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
loud when I'm
Yeah.
with my
Yeah.
man, though. Let's be
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I'm out and I'm having fun, oh my God,
Yes.
I laugh loud.
Yes.
I'm a lot of fun. Everybody wants to be around me, want to be
Yes.
hanging out with me. It's all cool.
Right.
But I'm being authentically, I'm showing up, being authentically who I am.
And you know
I
what,
didn't enjoy myself.
and that's what I'm saying. And if you're not at that level in your life, it's okay to step back from it and just do the work that you need to do to deal with those like I say, wounds that are there, man. Those trust issues,
And
those
sometimes it's not wounds though, because people say,
deal
Kim, I
with
don't
that.
have your personality. I'm not that type.
Well,
I don't,
work on your personality then.
huh?
Work. And my thing is that my answer to that is work on your personality. Work on
Right.
developing a personality.
Yes.
That's friendly.
Yes.
That's likable.
Yes.
That's approachable. Don't
Right.
make no excuses, boo boo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ray, Charles.
Right. Right.
Work on that thing.
Right. Right. Right.
Because
Right.
you're
Be
gonna keep getting
attractive.
what you've been getting if you keep staying in that same frame of thinking and it's
Right.
thinking.
Right.
But
Right.
you wonder why you keep getting what you're getting because you refuse to change. You want the path of least resistance. You don't
Right.
want to put yourself out there and show your real self up. So you want to stay in the cut somewhere in the corner with your back up on the wall, looking at everybody else on the sideline having fun and enjoying themselves.
Right.
Because you
Right.
don't want to give
Right.
yourself permission to show up and be you. Because
Right.
you're afraid that what they're gonna think, what they're gonna say. But guess what? They're gonna always have something to say.
But you know what I think too, Daryl? I think that some people, don't have it. The thing, that thing,
What's that thing?
whatever that certain, oomph about them, right? They don't have
Self-assurance,
that.
confidence.
No, it's not always that. Some people just have a personality that is very dry. They just don't, that's just who they are. They don't have that extra, bump, right? And if they do, they were taught not to show it,
Mm.
right? They were taught. They were
Well,
taught not
if
to
you
show
don't mind your woman or your man going out on Friday, Saturday nights to be with the crowd that's got their oomph, and you sit your behind in the house and watch westerns and eat cheese doodles, hey dog, hey, if it worked for you, it
it.
worked for you.
Daryl.
Because typically, Kim, opposites do attract.
Yeah, they do. They do.
You know, typically that be the case. It's always you got the loud vocal one, then you got the quiet, subtle
And
one.
you know what's funny? I don't want anybody louder than me.
Ooh.
I don't want to be, because if you louder than me, you loud, because I'm pretty loud. I like somebody who's pretty quiet and laid back. That's my person. I'm serious. Isn't that, and I didn't even, I forgot about that until
Tell us more, Kim. Tell
no,
us more.
I just remember that from like it just came up just
But
now
why? But why is that though, Kim? Why do you want
because I
somebody?
think I'm loud enough for everybody.
Oh, that's the truth. No
I
lies.
really do.
No
Oh,
lies detected. I
you
would
know
agree
what,
with you.
Daryl? I'm not playing
I
with
would
you. I don't
agree
even think
with
it's
you.
different
I
anymore.
would totally. You know what? Hold on. Let me write that down. Check. Yo.
No, but like if we that's too that's oh my god.
But
I
you know
think
what though, Kim? Being around that type of energy though, and being around you, it gives other people permission for them to show
they
up.
absolutely do. I say that all the time,
You
Daryl.
know what I'm saying?
When
So
you
I would
show
never
up,
trade you in for anybody because of who you
aw,
are. That's why it's so because when your people are
you're
around you
so
that
sweet,
happen to be
Daryl.
when you
Wait,
happen to be around other people that are not like you,
wait.
it typically it's like, wow, if they can do that, then it gives other people the
Right,
permission
permission.
to,
Right, which is why
oh,
people
okay,
like to hang out with us
okay.
when we go out, me and my girlfriends, because we have such a good time and we ain't studying nobody.
Mm,
But it makes other people want to be in the arena with you,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's
It makes
attractive.
people what it's very attractive when
Very
you're having a
attractive.
good time. So okay, so we've done one and two. We show up with authentically, confidently, and then the other one was have fun, show up to have fun.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna date in 2022, if you meet somebody that you actually like out of all these millions of people that are out here in the world, right? And you actually like them, right? So we got show up authentically, we got be confident, and we got
Yes.
have fun, right?
Yes. Yes.
And the fourth thing would
Eh,
be just like don't take yourselves too seriously.
don't take yourself too seriously.
No,
Don't
do
do that.
not take yourself too
You know,
seriously.
crack a joke,
I didn't even
take a
write this
joke,
stuff down.
crack a joke, crack a joke, be able to take one, be able to give one. And you know what, Kim, I would say fifthly is show up with your skincare, with some lotion on your face.
You know what, Dad? Don't
No,
go.
no, Kim, I know it seems very elementary, and as much as you think that people are grown, and there's a lot of women and that are frustrated because they got guys out here that don't believe in grooming themselves, they don't believe in working out, they don't have a workout plan, they don't take good care of their health, they they all swollen up with inflammation everywhere. Their ankles is hurting them. Their backs is broken. Dudes ain't got no workout plan. They don't believe in health. They don't believe in fitness. So I would highly recommend get yourself a good workout plan. Get yourself a good skincare program. Get yourself a good petty. Get your nails done. Get your feet done. Go get a massage. I'm
Daryl
just
said
giving some of the
you
things that
talk. You
I
talk
do.
about the men.
This is what I do, and I recommend to my other brothers, because when you love yourself and you taking care of yourself, you also going to be, it raises the level of value in the woman too, because she realizes I'm not dealing with a slouchy dude.
Right.
I'm not dealing with a
Right.
bummy dude who don't
Right.
take care of himself, don't smell good, don't look good. And if he's
Right.
raised himself to that level, I gotta raise myself. I
Right.
gotta come to a level where he at, or
Right.
close nearby him, by
Right.
the way he take
Right.
care of
Well,
himself and
he's
love
not.
on
I don't
himself.
even think he would be attracted to a woman that didn't if he did all of that.
Hello.
If a man does all of that for himself and a woman doesn't, I don't know that he would be so attracted to
You
her.
gotta compliment my fly. You gotta
Yes,
compliment my energy.
yes, yes, yes,
You know,
yes. Because if a
because that's
brother's
something. And
doing
my
all of
women
that,
too. Take care of your hair. You
yeah.
know, Stop walking around here with your pajamas on all day. Stop walking around with your head
Now
wrapped. Or
you
you ain't.
talking to the younger people, right?
I'm talking to the young, to the middle age, and the old one. I see grandma out there just today.
Daryl,
Come on, man. Put your
grandma
teethers in your
wasn't out
mouth,
there in
mom.
her pajamas.
Got the pajamas on. They got no teeth on their mouth. You show mama. Remember back in the day, Kim? My mothers were not even going to the mailbox unless they were done up.
Mm.
You wouldn't even go into the post office if you wasn't done up as a woman. Because you don't know who you're going to run into. And your first impression can be your last impression. So when you do show up looking good, feeling good, smelling good, man.
Right. Right. You better say so,
Because
Daryl.
it comes with an air when you feeling good within yourself and you know you putting in the work on yourself to get yourself together and sprucing up. You walk with a different air, a different level of confidence, and people see that and they like, oh shit, who the fuck, who that?
That your
Who's
language.
I cut it, but who that? You know what I'm saying? Stay with us,
But
please.
you're
Don't
not
leave because of
lying
that.
though.
I'm just saying, having yourself a maintenance routine of physical fitness,
But
getting
that's
out
for
there
men and for
walking.
women. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it's no sense, man. Unless you, and then you up here saying, now the thing I see that's a problem though, Kim, is you got, I want this. I want this, Kim. You saying this is who you are, right? I'm gonna give this. This is how most people are, but they pray for this up here.
Mm.
They pray for this up here, but they don't do the work down here to get up here and align themselves with what.
Hello, somebody.
But you want this. This is what you've been praying for.
Yep.
But this is you laying in the
Yep.
bed, sitting there drinking yourself to sleep,
Right.
overeating,
Right.
ain't being kind, ain't working on your personality, but you
Right.
want the life of glory, you want the life of amazingness, incredible, and you wonder why you never get what you ask for and you
Right.
get this level of living.
Right.
Because in order for you to live the way you want to live up here, that means you got to do the work
Yep.
to
I
get
just talked
here
about that the other
and
day.
align yourself with that woman,
Yes.
with that
Yes. Yes.
man.
Yes. 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 Yes.
You can pray and sit up here
Yes.
all day long praying for your
Yes.
life to
Yes.
elevate here. But if you ain't doing no work down here,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just gonna be a prayer. And you're gonna be mad at God, mad at the universe, mad at people, walk around with your lip all
Right.
pushed
With a
out
whole big attitude.
because you ain't got no goal, you ain't got no plan for your
Right.
life.
Right.
Now you big
Right.
mad. And
Right.
everybody else because you
But you
refuse.
know what, Daryl? I don't necessarily know that if people are even consciously aware.
That's why we're here.
No, 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 no,
That's
no.
why we're here.
I'm not saying that because everybody didn't watch this. I'm saying just as a general rule of thumb, people don't know where they go wrong. They think I'm good. They think I don't have any issues. I'm good. I work hard. I come home every day. I pay my bills. I do this. And you be wondering where the disconnect is. The disconnect is in that you do too much for other people.
Yeah. And
Sometimes
Kim,
you gotta let
truth
people
be
show
told,
you.
and truth be told, I'm gonna be very vulnerable and very open with the audience and the people here. I'm not even here yet. Because every time I do this, life does
Mhm.
that.
Right,
It's
right.
a continual
Yeah,
uphill battle.
yeah.
So even myself, I'm a I'm a work in progress.
Right. All of us.
So every time,
No, no, no.
so
All of us, Daryl.
it's worth striving
Nobody.
for.
I got you.
You feel me?
Nobody is there. We all are trying to get better. The stuff that I do and the stuff that we all do, I want to make it like it's just a me thing. The stuff that we all do, right? We do it because something may brought our attention to it, and now we're being better for it. Right.
Mm.
So our hearts were broken. We didn't pay attention to why. We didn't pay attention to the person that we got into a relationship with. Right. We just, got with somebody because maybe our hearts was broken before that. And we just decided, okay, well, I'm going to give this next person a chance. We never counted the cost. We never did our due diligence again. And every time you keep going through that same lesson over and over and over, and you can't figure out, why does this keep happening to me? Right? Why is it that every time I meet somebody, they end up hurting my feelings? Right?
The teacher.
Because you are not picking up on the clues
Right.
that are being left for you, and you're not learning the lesson.
There you
And
go.
you're going to continue to go through the same things over and over
Over.
and over again until you understand that there is a lesson in all of this,
And when
right?
you learn that lesson, like Kim,
Uh-huh.
you said in that last video, you can say thank you.
Yes,
You
because they
can say
really,
thank you for the people who left your life. You can
yes,
thank him, you can thank her, and say, if
right,
it had not been for
right,
that situation that had
right,
occurred, I
right,
would have never understood my own self-worth as a woman and as a
right,
man. I would have never
right.
known. And if it had not been for you helping me to look within myself, to
Yes,
realize it's not your fault, it's my responsibility
right. To take care of me,
to take care of
to
me and to
do
raise
my
up my
due
standards and
diligence.
raise up my boundaries
Yes,
on
yes,
how much like where I begin and where you end. And
yes.
if that heartbreak did not happen, I wouldn't be here today and being able to share the messages, because God knows that's the only reason why I'm here and I'm able to share is because I had my heart broken.
Yep.
I was invested. I was deeply in love, but I realized I was giving away something to somebody else to get that reassurance, to know that I was safe and that I was good, and that depended on them. Didn't depend on me. And it's time we get back to ourselves, man, and realize your self-assurance is all in you. It's not on nobody else, man, because people come and go.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing is don't abandon yourself. Don't leave yourself. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
important to take care of self. Know thyself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that is the lesson. And Kim, like you said, when we learn that lesson, we can say thank you. But as long as you sit around here blaming and jumping off one wagon to jump on another bandwagon and keep going out there in them streets, running around that track, going over to get your tires pumped up, blown up, then back out to the track again, you're gonna have to learn that lesson. Hopefully you
Mm-hmm.
don't get all old and gray and all wrinkly and nobody don't want you that time. Now you washed up, now you're bad talking women. Now you're talking bad about women, how women ain't no darn good. And now women out here making all kind of videos and posts of how angry they are with men. There ain't no good men out here. No, you a bad chooser in men. You a bad chooser in women.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why you reflecting that is because of what you done been through. But there's a lot of people that's good out here, Ken. I meet them all the time. I happen to be in a relationship with one that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope and pray that everybody finds somebody that meets them, but you got to show up being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You got to show up being vulnerable and
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit deeper than that, Dow, because you can show up being vulnerable and authentic and still keep making the same mistakes that you made the last time. And so it is vitally important to get the lesson.
Yes, I agree.
Like, I don't believe in dropping your guard until you feel safe enough to drop your guard.
Yeah,
Because I don't believe everybody is worthy of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you do the work on yourself, Kim, and go to the therapy sessions, you know,
Mhm.
that's your plug, Kim. When people come log in and unlocking your love
Mhm.
and learn the valuable tools that they're going to need going
Mhm.
forward in
Mhm.
future endeavors and future relationships, whether in relationships or looking for marriage, sign up now for the unlocking your love, man. I think you just released that so that people can get the tools that they need going forward, Kim, so they don't have to keep making these same um mistakes.
I agree. And I think that that is one of the most important things, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to continue to get the same results.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, because in my Unlocking Your Love group, I have men and women in there. And so it's so dope, because I'm talking to my brothers because they want it too.
Yes.
Because they want it too. They want it too. And you wouldn't know who they are unless you were in the group. But I'm just saying, right? It's amazing, because brothers realize that they need it too. Why do I keep bumping my head, Kim? Why can't I meet a
Yes.
woman with that's good for me? Where am I going wrong? And I always appeal to them to look at their patterns of behavior and the reasons why they picking the women that they picking. Because we say that women's pickers are broke, but men got some broke pickers too.
Oh yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
But men generally, most men, I think, know what type of woman they looking for. I think a lot of men are methodical in their thinking. Not all, but a lot, right? They know what type of woman they're looking for, and they know whether or not you're it. And if you're it, they're gonna choose you. And if you're not, they're just gonna throw you back. You know, you ain't the fish they want. That's
And
it.
like you said in that last video, Kim, don't feel bad about that. Don't be
No, I'm
salty.
not.
Don't
I
be
don't.
angry.
I don't want to. You know why I keep saying? Because I don't want. When I say thank you, right? It's because you've grown from that experience. But some people are not growing from the experience.
Mm.
That's why I keep kind of almost cutting you off when you get ready to say that, because there are so many people that don't even know what they're doing wrong. They keep saying, like, I don't understand why this keeps happening to me, right? They don't get that there are clues, there are things that they're doing
Mm-hmm.
that they can't see in themselves, right? They don't see that part. They only think like I'm a good person, like I'm a good person, like I'm a good dude, like I'll take her out, but and I just want a serious and a good woman by my side. And they are amazing
Yeah.
brothers, but they don't see what they're doing wrong. And you've got to want to know what you're doing wrong. You've got to want to know that. You got to know, look, I'm not perfect. Okay, so none of us are. We are perfectly imperfect,
There
right?
you go. That's good.
Got it, right? But where do I keep falling at? Why do I keep falling for the same type of person over and over and over again? Why is that happening? The person doesn't even have good character. They don't know how to communicate. Why don't I see that in the beginning? And when I see it in the beginning, because it's familiar, why don't I walk in the other direction or communicate to the person that I'm about to date? This is what I need.
Right.
Need for you to be able to talk to me.
But people,
For
but
women
I
to
hear
be
you,
in
Kim.
space
God, that's
for one
good.
another, right?
That's good. But that
But
goes that the only problem is, Kim, the only problem, and it's always gonna be an issue, is when that person is not showing up being authentic, and they learn to let their yes be yes and their no be no, and they know where they stand on their values, their morals, and their beliefs, and they're willing to speak, even if their knees tremble. They don't care if it offends you or not. But they listen.
can
I
I tell
like
you
butter
something,
pecan ice
Daryl?
cream. I'm not trading that in for anybody. Like, you
But
gotta
can I
stand
tell
on
you
this stuff.
this? I've dated men who made, I don't want to even say the mid, I would say, maybe probably like a quarter of a mil, right? It was $250,000, right? So it's six figures, right? And I'm being honest with you. No matter what, no matter how cool I thought they were, how cute they were, the issue becomes, do they even need me in their lives? Where do I fit in? Where do I fit in? So I say that to you because of this, because sometimes it's not that you're not being authentic. It's that every person needs to be needed, right? So if every time a man came into my life, right, and I said to him, "Oh, no, I don't need your help."
Mm.
If so, there are variables to what we are witnessing in relationships, and our friends don't have the courage and sometimes the wherewithal to tell us what they see and how backwards that is, because usually birds of a feather flock together, so they're not going to see and say, "Oh no, girl, you was wrong for that." Now some of our friends will see it and won't even say anything to it and let us continue to flounder, right? But if every time a man said, "Kim, I really like you, I want to take you out on a date," and we get to the point of him coming here, and I was the type of woman that said, "Oh, no, you don't need to take out your garbage, I got it."
And see, that's the point right there, and that's what I'm talking about, Kim. Is when you're
What?
dating somebody,
What are you
man,
talking about?
man or woman, based on what you just said about the garbage, man. If you're around somebody and you with somebody, you've been dating them for a while, you pay attention
It
to.
don't even have to be for a while. How would I fit in? How would somebody fit into my life if I did not allow them to fit into my life? And see, this is the problem, because women have forgotten about interdependence. We have become so fiercely independent. What do we even need a man for? So if a man comes and he begins to try to court you, date you, take you out, spend time with you, and treat you like a woman, and at every return, a woman says, no, 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 I got it. Because you're so independent. We don't even realize that that can knock people out of our sphere. They begin to treat you different. They begin to resent you. And so some of that is not rooted in authenticity. Some of that is in not knowing how to be around a man, with a man, right? The same way men are lacking in being with women properly, right? Because they've never seen it. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. That's a belief system. That's coming from belief because that's what you witnessed. That's what you've seen growing up, or that's the way you decided. Oh, I have to take care of myself.
Right.
And
Right.
I have to.
Right. There you go, D. There you go.
I have
That's
to
the
take
money
care of
shot.
myself. But it
Right.
comes to a point where you have to humble yourself, man.
Hey, Lee.
You know what I mean? Like there has to come to a level of humility, man. Of
Yes.
when you need something or somebody like, and I get it, it's scary stepping out into the unknown. Like for an example, I'm getting ready to take some salsa classes.
Uh-huh.
I know a little bit of one bang bing bong. I don't know all the other stuff.
Right.
So that means for me, Kim, I gotta step into an arena where I don't know diddly. I don't know
Right.
nothing. I gotta become a student all over again.
Yes.
That means I have to open myself up, stepping into
Yes.
the unknown and wearing,
Yes.
instead of going into karate, already a natural black belt, I got to step in it with a whole white belt, meaning I'm just water. I don't know nothing. I
Right.
ain't got no
Right.
flavor to me.
Right. In
Not
order to
yet,
learn.
anyway. Not anyway. And
Right.
that's typically the issue with a lot of us. And that's why you heard the saying before, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Mm.
Because the dog done got to a certain point, the dog know what he know, and that's all he ever want to know. And he dare not go over into being vulnerable, dare going over into doing something he ain't never tried, never ate before. How you gonna say you don't like shrimp scampi, for an example,
Well,
and you ain't
right.
never tried it?
Right.
How you
Right.
gonna say you don't like turkey wings and you ain't never had one?
Right. Right.
So I'm just saying, when you stepping out into the unknown, you have to
Trying to
go in
do
there
things
with an open
differently.
heart
Yes.
and knowing that what I'm leaving what I know to step out into what I don't know so that
Yes.
I can be all that I could possibly be. But how am I ever going to know what I can be if I dare not go over into the
Yes.
unknown?
Yes.
And that goes for men and that goes for women. And I'm stepping out there, but I'm willing to look like a fool for a minute to be the greatest dancer you ever seen in your
Right.
life.
Because it takes that. Because it takes that. It
Yo,
takes to
you're gonna see
be.
me on Dancing with the Stars, kid.
Oh my God. Here
Y'all
we
see
go.
me here right
No.
now, but I'm gonna be on Dancing with the Stars. You're gonna be like, yo, is that Uncle D? Is that Cousin D? Is that D? What the?
I'm so well, I got
Yo, if you can believe it, you
everything
can
has to be
achieve it, man.
right. But everything has to be torn down to be built back up.
Hello, and a lot of
Because
us
it
are
is rooted in
familiar, and like you said,
yes.
Ken, the setback is the familiar, and you look at the word familiar, it also is related to family.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
committee in your head, and most of us are
Mm-hmm.
familiar
You better
with
say so,
that
Daryl.
audience that's been. Sometimes it ain't nobody else. We our own worst enemy. We like to sit around here and talk,
I know, right,
sabotage
Lee?
ourselves.
Lee said, sign him up. Wait a minute, for dancing and to start dancing with the
Come
stars.
on, baby. I was visualizing it today. I was sitting there like,
I see you. You was really getting into it, D. You were getting so into it. I swear you. I was like, oh,
oh man.
here we go.
I give myself at least 10 minutes just to visualize what I'm going to be.
You better
I ain't there
say
yet,
so,
but
Daryl.
I just visualize it. I see myself there. I feel I can see you in the audience holding up a 10.
Yeah,
You
for
know what I'm saying? I see my
Daryl.
mama. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I give
Yes.
myself that room to use my imagination and let my imagination go wild because it's a dream come true. But I know I got to step out and see something I never done before.
You gotta start at the beginning. You gotta
Yeah,
begin again.
yeah.
I
And I
talked
can't bring,
about
and I
that.
can't, and going into a relationship, you can't bring that past.
No, we talked about that last Thursday. Coming over the bridge, you got to leave the baggage.
Leave that,
Hitting
man.
the reset button on your life, and saying, listen, I want to do things differently because I know I can, because I want to win, and
Yeah.
everything that I've been doing in my past has not caused me to win. So where is the disconnect for me? Why is it that I attract the same type of person to myself? A person that is emotionally unavailable, a person who is struggling, within themselves, and I think that, somehow I want to help them or repair them or whatever.
I love
Like,
that.
why is it that I do that? What type of behavior am I exhibiting? Am I pushing people away?
I
Am I
love that.
closer to me? There are some things that we have to think about, especially if you're going to be out here dating. You want to think about being your authentic self, showing up, being confident, rooting for yourself, trying
Yeah.
on something new, beginning again, right? And putting away those things that didn't serve you. But you first got to recognize what those things are that are not serving you, right? You got to do that work, because if you do not do that work, you're always going to find yourself in the same situation over and over again.
Yeah. So therefore, therefore to the people that's watching, man, Kim Love Jones got the unlocking your love that's going on right now. So you need to
It
take
starts
advantage of the
Monday.
opportunity. Inbox Kim, find out all the information so that you can join the group. Join. It's an amazing
So
thing Kim
Daryl is
has
doing my
going
closing
on,
statement. Like,
and
you
I
really,
suggest that the people join on now. Inbox Kim, send her your information so that we can get this thing moving forward, so you can start living
listen,
your best life.
Daryl, you just did my whole closing out statement. Like, I don't know. Like, I got it before you got it. Like, I don't know. So anyway, this is Thought Provoking Thursday with Kim Love Jones, and you guys know how much I love y'all. So much of that comes from the examples that you got or didn't get from your upbringing. I agree with that, Lee. I agree. Can you see the comment, Daryl?
I don't see him, babe.
Okay,
Oh
now
wow.
so much of that comes from the examples that you got or didn't from your upbringing. And that's true. That is absolutely the
Yeah.
truth. Because Lee, people don't, that's where we get our core information from. And then we base everything else on that. And some of that crap is just a lie.
Yeah.
It's falsity. It's something that you kind of, you remember that, Daryl, that story you told me about the lady with the turkey? And it was this
Yes.
woman who cut the ham. She cut
Yes.
one side off the ham, the other side off the ham, and then she would cook the ham every Thanksgiving. And Daryl told me this story that the lady was in there, and every year she did it. She said, "Why do you do that?" And she said,
The
"I don't know."
daughter.
The daughter said, "Why do you do that?" And she says, "Well, your grandmother told me this." So the daughter called the grandmother, and the grandmother said, "Oh, I only did that because the pan was too small."
Wow.
Right? So in our minds, we see
And
like
we
our
do.
parents doing something, and we mimic that behavior, but
Yep.
that doesn't mean that that's appropriate for where we are right now in our
And
lives.
who you want to be.
And what size pan you got?
Yeah.
Because you got a bigger pan. You don't need to cut the top and the bottom part off
Yes.
there. But because we constantly seen it, we
You
we begin to believe the narrative that that's what we're supposed to be doing, and that's not true.
yeah.
That's not true.
And that's
Bingo,
why
says Lee.
and Kim. And that's why a lot of people are walking around here tired, ain't got no energy because they watching other. That's what my daddy did. That's what my cousin did. That's what
Right,
everybody in my family. And so
right.
it's like, you know what? I guess I got to do the same thing that I see being modeled because everybody else walking around here mad, tired, broken. So guess
Yes,
what? I guess I got to fall in line and do the same thing. But the
right.
truth be told,
It's a
beloved,
learned behavior. It's not even a conscious behavior.
yeah,
That's what so many of my friends and some of my girlfriends say to me, you know what? My mother, all she do is fuss all day. From the time I get to the house, she be fussing. And then I listen to them on the phone and they fussing. And
and
I be
they fussing.
and they fussing. And I'll be like, oh, and then I'll just change the subject. Be like, girl. And they be like,
Yo,
I can't take it. And they don't even realize that they just picked up that same energy and they've
That
been running
same
around my
energy.
mother and father house today. And we have got to be conscious and intentional about changing our minds and the way that we do business. Because I promise you that you're not going to be able to get out of the bag if you do not change the dynamics of what you're doing.
That's a
And so,
whole fact.
anyway, I am about to close. We're about to close.
No, Kim,
oh, Daryl, you a mess. You know what, Daryl, a hot mess.
Listen, Kim, but honestly, let the people know they want to come back for more of this, man. We would love to have y'all come back, man, next Wednesday, man. We appreciate you showing up and joining us tonight and sharing the link out there. We appreciate you. We love you. I do, and I pray that the rest of your week be the best of your week.
And that is Daryl's final thoughts. I don't know how this happened. Anyway, y'all. I'm closing the show out once again. But listen, I just wanted to say this to y'all that I have a group here on Facebook called Unlocking Your Love, but I have a monthly membership group that is Unlocking Your Love Inner Circle. And that's where I spend a lot of my time. We meet once a week, and it is absolutely amazing. But for the next week, from Monday to Friday of next week, I'm going to be doing a 5-day Unlocking Your Love challenge, and we are going to be dealing with things such as emotional intelligence, wholeness, getting to the place that we want to be, finding love again through self-love and self-care, right? So I'm going to be doing that next week. It's free. I want everybody to jump on. I want everybody
it's free?
I want everybody to register for it, right? And when you register for it, you'll get an email with the information so that you could be a part of the tribe. I am so excited about this, and it's going to be different from all of the other challenges that I've done. It's time to elevate, and I really mean that. I love you guys. I think you guys are like absolutely freaking amazing, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.